Clerk's office, this is Cookie.
Cookie, yes, this call here is being monitored and recorded. I'd like to submit a FOIA request over the phone.
1 second.
Sure.
Would you hand me a FOIA form, please? Okay, tell me your name again, please.
Is the name required for FOIA?
Yes.
Are
I
you?
have no idea who to send it back to.
I can provide an email address.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I have 2 total requests for today. The first request is the FOIA log of 2020.
Is it possible for you to email it to me?
It's much easier for me to submit an oral request at this time.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. My first request is FOIA log of 2020.
I have no idea what you just said.
So what I said, ma'am, was FOIA log of 2020. I can spell it out if you like.
No spaces?
No spaces.
FOIALOG 20
2020, yes, ma'am.
at what?
At gmail.com. I'm sorry, that's the first request. My second request is credit card statements of 2020.
Hold on. I need to. This is FOIA log 2020 at gmail.com.
No. That's the first request, which is my first request is a FOIA log of 2020.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about then. This makes no sense to me.
Okay, if it doesn't make
What is
sense,
the
ma'am.
email address for which
You're asking.
your request?
You're asking for my email. Okay. Well, it does.
I have no idea how I'm going to get this to you otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I was going to provide my email after my 2 requests, but my email is FOIA auditor. My email is.
It's FOIA what?
Yes, ma'am. My email is FOIAauditor@gmail.com.
So,
Yep. So my first request is a.
all right.
Yeah, my first request is a FOIA log of 2020, which is log is spelled LOG. Some mistake that with law.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's my first request, ma'am. And my second request is the credit card statements of 2020.
And you want this all on one request. You're asking for 2 things on one request.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Okay.
May I ask what your job title is?
I'm the town clerk.
Oh, you're the you're the town sworn clerk. Are you also the FOIA officer?
I am.
I'd like to thank you so much, ma'am, for honoring my oral request. I'll wait the 5 days of compliance.
Okay, I'm not finished with you yet. Just hang on with it.
Sure.
So you're
Hands on the wall.
The FOIA log of 2020, and then what did you say about credit card?
Yes, ma'am. Credit card statements of 2020. I do grant you 1 extension. If you do need an extension, I'd go ahead and grant you 1 extension.
And this is being emailed to FOIAAUDITOR@gmail.com.
Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you are asking for email to the email above.
Mm-hmm.
And you are not going to provide your name, so I have no idea to whom I'm speaking.
Dear,
and you're choosing not to give a phone number.
dear FOIA requester. Sometimes when the request is anonymous, they just put dear sir or madam, you know, just to be...
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just making it clear that you are not providing those two pieces of information.
Oh, no, no, no.
At your choice.
Right. This is non-commercial, if you did want to
Alright.
clarify. Okay, ma'am, I thank you. And I do have a question here, just off the top of your memory, ma'am. Do you recall how many FOIAs you received in 2020? Roughly?
Well, just 1 second.
Sure. Oh, this is a town of... Are you still there, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You have 1,000 inhabitants in your town?
We have what?
1,000 inhabitants?
We have 4,000 inhabitants.
4,000, okay. Yeah, just around 2020, if you just recall roughly around how many requests you had around that time. 75. Amazing, ma'am, amazing. That you received, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So the remainder of 4,000 and some odd change people, they just don't care what's going on with the government. But anyhow, ma'am, again, I thank you. Yeah. Thanks again, and I'll wait the 5 days of compliance. God bless.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Amazing.